Hi everybody, Jo here. How you doing? Right, I'm coming in with a little extra Friday video this week. I haven't managed one. Obviously last week I was at the Fairy Festival meeting such lovely people, and honestly we had such a laugh. It was so funny. There's a very funny video coming out soon which it was just, do you know what is nice? That when we're demonstrating and obviously being professional, but sometimes it's nice just to, I would say I let my hair down, but I've not got a lot of it. But you know, it's just nice to actually have fun with friends and relax and be yourself. And I think sometimes, especially, I don't know if you look at the news and on social media, you know, so many people put on a false image. So it is nice to just actually chill. So I had a ball. But I did miss you. So I wasn't here, so I do apologise. And today I'm coming in. Now, I've got to tell you, Eric, bless him, is sat under my table. It's really hot here today. Yesterday I did a couple of recordings and he was dreaming a lot, but he wouldn't eat his tea last night, and unfortunately he was sick in the night. So anyway, he's had some breakfast this morning, but I think he's just very hot. So if you hear, he seems to be dreaming a lot, and I just think it's the heat. So if you hear anything, it's not me. And Eric is my dog. Just if we've got any new friends or followers, because I know sometimes it can be a bit confusing. He's not my husband. That's Carl. So Eric, my black Labrador, is fast asleep, literally right at my feet. So I can't move. So I may have to stretch a bit. So what else did I have to do? Oh, I need to check how you are, because obviously I have missed you. So I hope you're okay. And I know a few of you, especially here, the heat is getting to you. I know some of our ladies abroad, the heat's getting to you. And there's some fires. And do you know what? Honestly, my heart goes out. Anybody who's struggling, please just come on in. I won't even say take your coat off because you don't need one. Just come on in, sit down. I'll get you a lovely glass of nice chilled water from the fridge. Put some ice in it, maybe a bit of lemon, and let's just have a nice, relaxed catch-up. And today's catch-up is going out to Cindie John. Now, Cindie, one of our lovely friends and followers, so a design. Now, you'll see I've got a blank piece of card, and this is just to get you used to looking at it, because I think when we start off, often it's intimidating having a white, you know, and this is how it starts, a blank piece of multifarious. This one's 7 by 7. So it's good to get used to looking at it. And she saw a design on social media and asked me how I'd done it and was there a video. So Cindie, the design you're asking about was actually a workshop piece. So I don't have the original because I leave it at the shop and for the lovely ladies to keep looking at. So I'm going to do something along a similar vein, because obviously I don't want to reproduce it because that was the design I did for the workshop. But I'm going to show you how I did it and just tweak it a little bit, but it'll give you the general idea. So Cindie, this one's for you, but I'm hoping our other lovely friends and followers will enjoy it as well. Now, I'm going to start with, you know me, some stamping. And at the minute, I'm really into creating a design in this top right-hand corner. We just get in these moods, don't we? And I'm going to start. Now you can choose, there are lots of different stamps that you can use for this. Loads and loads of ones. And this one is I think it's the Twilight Lilly, but there are so many that you could use. Now I'm using my black, my Versafine Clair, as you know, permanent ink, and I love it for stamping. And I'm just going to come in from the corner. And where it goes to these like thready bits, I'm just going to go to that. Now, as you know, this is a very useful stamp. It can be down, up. And even just once in the corner, look. How beautiful is that? So we're going to stamp it again either side. Now, it could be you wanted to mix it up a bit, but I'm thinking again, if you haven't got a lot of stamps, and just look at it, use your acetate and just decide where, and you can change I like that angle. So I'm just going to bring that there. Again, a good press. I'm leaning on my copy paper, making sure I don't put my block on my card. Try and get in these good practices. Honestly, You'll thank me. And then let's have a look at this one. Now this one I think I may just bring a bit further down here. And it's up to you what shape you go for. It might be you want to keep it compact and in the corner, or maybe expand a little like I've done. And you know, I could make this design 3 or 4 times and each one will be slightly different. And that's what I love about these sorts of designs. Now, I'm going to come in with my beautiful little mini Flutter. This is the mini stamp, the butterfly. And I urge you, if you've not got this, it's fabulous. And I'm thinking I'm going to pop one up here. And then maybe one down here. Just, I like that space in there. And then I'm thinking sentiment here, so it follows that design. Now, I've already stamped one out on a little bit of spare bit of card. But again, whenever I'm stamping this, I just get one of my offcuts and stamp it a few times. So we'll give that a blot. And again, it's that recipe where we stamp first and blot it. And we'll get rid of that. And then we want to add some colour. So the colours I'm going to use is Blue Lagoon and Confetti. And as you know, these are the elements and these are the ones that are going to just blend beautifully in the background. Now, I do want my moon mask, my circle mask, which is over here. And again, I often get asked, how do I decide which one to go for? Well, to be fair, I just put it on the design. Now, I could have that one. Or maybe today we'll go for a bit more oomph. We'll go for the next size. I'm just going to file those next to Eric. Now, the biggest tip I can give you here, if you're one of our lovely new followers, is turn your work upside down. You'll find it's just easier and you'll get a much better result because when you first put your ink on, if you've got a lot of ink, it'll be at the bottom and that will make it look like shadow. Whereas the other way around, if it's the top, it just looks odd. So the larger brush, the number 9 brush, again, hold it gently on the metal part and blend it in the lid. And I'm just going to gently blend around this, like I say, starting at the base. And I'm going over the butterflies. And I'm going over the area where the flowers are. And the idea is I just want to colour those flowers and where the butterflies are. Now, sometimes you'll get, I've got there, look, an odd line, which is nothing to do with the blending. It could be there's a mark on the card. It could be you've touched the card, but often it's just a mark that's somehow in the manufacturing. But don't worry about it. We can cover that up. So I'm just going to take the moon mask away for a minute, turn it round, and I like that. Can you see? It's quite subtle. But what I'm going to do is just bring a bit more depth in the corner now. Now, I know my ink pad, and it's quite light now. I've used it a lot. So I'm just going to come straight in, look, from the ink pad into that corner because I really want that corner darker. And if I can show you, can you see how that's really built up in that corner? Now, I could leave it like this. Just add, what I love about designs like this, you know, ladies and gentlemen, is I could leave it at this stage, add some water splats. In fact, I'll just get my fan brush, put it in my water pot. I like it, I find it works better if it's in my water pot ready for action. But instead of, we're not going to leave it like that. We're going to add some pink to the design. So I'm just going to get a brush that's got pink on and I'm going for Confetti. Now, I have got Pink Elephant, but I am aware that the new stock hasn't arrived yet. So I don't want to use it and upset you because you haven't got it. So I'm sure you've got Confetti. If you haven't got Confetti, Violet Chalk works beautifully as well. So I'm going to put the moon mask back and in the lid, And what's nice about this is, depending on the ratio of ink, how strong your ink is, and how far you take it into the design, no two designs will look the same. Now I want to leave this corner with that blue. So what I'm thinking is, I'll just go around the moon mask and then I'll take that off and turn it round. So we've got a better idea. Now I just want to drag, I want to leave that corner with the blue. Just want to check you can see. But I want to just bring a little bit, and I'm gently, just think of it in your head as a tickle, over the butterfly here. And then again from here, over the butterfly here. Just to bring those lovely pink tones in. Now look at that. And I just think that is so pretty. And I'm not going to colour these beautiful flowers in. Now you could, if you wanted, and you can use your pens, your pencils. You know, if you want to sit and have the afternoon colouring, that would be lovely. I'm just going to leave mine. I just like them as they are. I'm really getting into this, you know, leaving something quite monochromatic, but then a pop of colour. And as you know, I like to come in with designs that you can then take it, add a little bit more, you know. I mean, I think there's about 4 different stages here where you could add bits or just stop. So you could leave it like that if you wanted, but I'm really into this, honestly. So if you came and saw me demoing at the weekend, this is called Forbidden Secrets. And you know, sometimes when you look through and you find a stamp you haven't used for a while and you get a bit obsessed with it, well, I think that's me at the minute, so I do apologise. But this, it's just such a lovely, it's a sentiment stamp, but the script is just beautiful. I'll stamp it to show you. And I've gone for the light blue, the Arctic. And if I just stamp it on my copy of paper, I would always do this just to look at the difference with first and second generation. Now, second, I don't think would show up, so we're going to use first. But look at that. I love that lovely script, and it's just a perfect size. Little tip, I just put a Sharpie arrow on the back so I know which way up it is. And my next little tip is, I'm going to stamp 3 times and I'm going to go across the design. Now you can either follow the design or you can go against it. Both look beautiful. Today I'm going to follow it, simply because the original one I did, I stamped this way. So it'd be nice, Cindie, that you can see the difference. And again, it gives you more choice. But the biggest tip I can give you, and I'm going to stamp across the moon, is stamp the middle one first. So I'm just going to look for where the middle is. And then it's easier. Oh, sorry, I just knocked you. I do apologise. I'm getting all carried away and enthusiastic. But you know what? That's what happens when you love what you do, don't you think? This is easier now to go above and below. There's nothing worse than starting in a corner and it not looking right in the middle. And I always think this reminds me of wallpapering. When Carl and I got our first house, we did that thing, you know, the thing that everybody tells you not to do. We wallpapered one room in the lounge, one wall, sorry, in the lounge. And we started in the corner. It was an old cottage in a little village called Hayfield. And nobody told us to put a plumb line or start further into the wall. And it started off quite straight in the corner. And the following day when we looked at it, the pattern did this all the way. And by the time it got to this corner, it was so far out. And I'll never forget it. But you know what? That's how we learn. So a little tip, and it just makes me laugh. This is why I start in the middle and work my way out. And it's just that nice light colour, so it blends into the background. If you wanted to have your moon perfectly white, just pop your little mask back over the top. So what I'm going to do now is just going to add some water for a little bit of faux bleaching. And a little tip, in my water pot here, I have got every morning now when I mix my water up, I just want to give it a good stir. I add a little bit of the Iridescent Violet Mica Minerals, just a little drop. It's a powder, and then it just makes my water almost sparkly. It's a good tip, have a go. Right. So, again, water splats. If you don't want the moon to have water splats, cover it. I want to add a little bit of blue as well. So the water will faux bleach this area, but I want some little blue splats here. So I'm going to do the two things. So first of all, the water there, but then I'll add a little bit of blue ink and we'll have some blue. I don't want too many. Yes, just around. Just to subtly go in with those water splats. And what I find is it'll just detract your eye a little from that writing. I want it there, but not to be too obvious. Right, so while that dries, and I'm going to let that dry, we'll mop this up. Now I'm going to decoupage the butterflies before you get worried that I've coloured them, covered them completely. I've got two here, look, that I've cut out. But I thought I'd just show you, again, my cheats colouring. And I'm just using 3 colours. These are the Mondeluz. And I've actually gone for number 8, 17 and 18. And then my clear Wink of Stella. And all I've done, and again, this was a little scrap look. These butterflies are great. They go on the tiniest of scrap card. So like the reddy purpley colour, pinky purple in the middle, the dark blue, and then the light blue. And I don't have to go right to the edge because this is the cheats Winker colouring. And then all I do, look, is start at the edge because I want that light colour to blend to the edge. And then when I've gone all the way around, I can come in to that purpley colour. And then I will have a little bit on my nib. So I just clean it on the back. And then that's ready to go next time. But if you look, you get that most amazing sparkle, and as it dries it will sparkle more. But I've got the hint of the 2 colours, but the depth as well. And how quick and easy was that? You know me, I love quick and easy. So I'm going to bring this back in. And you see, once we pop these on, look at that. So with my kitchen roll, I'm just going to dry under there in case I've got any splats, because that's where I'm going to put my glue. And obviously my glue won't work as well if it's wet. And before I put that on, I'm going to put a lovely sentiment. Gently does it. Because I feel today so warm, we need to gently does it. And I've gone for the black. I think it'll show up really well, look, because we've got black stamp in there. Now, I like it there. See, I was going to put it there first, then I quite like that, but actually I think it shows up really well there. So let me just check it's dry underneath, otherwise it won't stick. Yeah, phew, we picked an area that was dry. Now with my glue, again, I found it's easier, I know it's dry, to just pop the glue on the card. Because my hands sometimes, they just, I don't know about you, they seem to do their own thing. I put a mug down the other day, my hand just wouldn't let go and I ended up knocking the mug on the floor and unfortunately breaking it. So if I put glue on here and I drop it, it gets on my work. So I found it easy to put glue there and just put the butterfly on top. If any was to come out, your Bippity Boppity glue dries clear. So don't worry. I mean, I would mop it up, but if any was to seep out, it will dry clear. And I'm just going to get a little bit of highlight, and we'll just have a little bit of highlight on top of here. And then, just to finish the whole thing off, we'll have some lovely white splatters, and I'm using this lovely, I just, you know what I'm like, I get something new. So this is the Zig Mangaka Opaque liner, very much like a Posca. You shake it, but the white seems to be whiter. Don't ask me why, it might just be me that thinks that. But especially if the work's a little bit wet, it seems to show whiter better. So we'll add a couple of white just over the butterflies. And if you're worried that your sentiment's a little bit dark or any area's a bit dark, pop some white splats on. But what I like is we've got that depth there. We've got the colour, but also we've got, pop that lid on. We've got the clear areas, look, where we've got the faux bleaching. But then we've also got some of the little blue splatters. And now we've got some white splatters. So we've got a really nice combination. And again, I'm showing you all three together. It might be you just go, Joe, I don't like the white splatters. I only use it at Christmas for snow. In that case, add the faux bleaching. You know, it's totally up to you. It might be you don't want to do any of the splatters at all and you just want to leave it. I know one of our lovely friends, Viv, she loves pale work. So it may be you just leave it with the pale colour in the beginning. I think if you need a condolence card, you could use this design. Maybe not put the extra stamping, just the corner. You know, you could take this a long way. Or maybe you're somebody who loves full colour. You could really add full colour onto this. But what I will say as well, don't judge me, but I've just grabbed a piece of black card. Look at that. Anyway, but look, when you put it on black, again, a little black matte layer, and that would really pop. So I hope you've enjoyed that. And Cindie, I hope that just gives you an idea of how to create the design. And don't forget, look through your stamps and have a look. But I think how quick and easy was that? Now, Cindie, if you drop me an email and send me your address, I'll pop this in the post for you. And then you've got this at hand to have a go. So have a lovely weekend, everybody. I've got an online workshop tomorrow with my lovely ladies. 3 fabulous designs. In fact, I can give you a sneak peek of one of them. We're going to be making this with our lovely sticker stencils. So you all take care. As I say, have a lovely weekend and look after yourselves. If it's warm, please, just, you know, stay cool. Lots of water to drink. And I'll pop back and see you again next week. In fact, I'll see you on Monday. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.